I'll never forget that morning. I was on the trail, deep in the woods, maybe a few miles from the nearest town, when it hit me. 1 second, I felt fine, breathing in the fresh air, taking in the view, enjoying the challenge of the hike. And the next, I was doubled over, stomach cramping like something out of a nightmare. At first, I thought it was just a bad stomachache. Maybe I ate something wrong the night before. But as the hours passed, it got worse. Much worse. I tried to ignore it like I'd done with so many little aches and pains in my life, but this time, my body wasn't playing along. I was dizzy, weak. I could hardly stand, let alone keep hiking, and I was far from the nearest doctor. My mind started racing. I had a few days left on my hiking trip. I had my gear, my plans, but none of it mattered if I couldn't get back to the car. And even if I could, where would I go? I didn't want to end up in some random clinic in a foreign town with no idea how to explain what was happening to me. That's when panic really set in. For a moment, I thought about turning back. But honestly, I didn't even know if I had the strength to make it. And the thought of spending days like this, in pain, alone, with no one to help, I just couldn't face it. So, in that moment of desperation, I did something I hadn't even thought about doing before. I pulled out my phone and opened up the travel insurance app one had purchased before leaving. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Travel insurance? Really? I thought the same thing. At the time, it felt like just another unnecessary cost, something to check off the list, because everyone says you should. But in that moment, I realized something I'd never really considered before. It wasn't just some piece of paper. It was my lifeline. I called the number for emergency medical support. The person on the other end was calm, reassuring, and, more importantly, helpful. She asked me a few questions, quickly pinpointed what could be wrong, and arranged for a local medical team to come meet me. I honestly thought I was hallucinating. A medical team? Out here? I couldn't believe it. But about an hour later, I saw them. They arrived with all the supplies I needed. They gave me fluids, some medication, and stayed with me until I was stable enough to make the journey back to town. It was like they pulled me out of the depths of that nightmare. I was shocked at how smooth it all went. It was as if I had a whole team of people looking out for me, even though I was miles away from civilization. Looking back, it feels surreal. I was literally alone, in the middle of nowhere, and yet I had help at my fingertips. I've always been a do-it-yourself person, someone who doesn't like asking for help. But in that moment, asking for help saved me. It turned a potential disaster into just a bad memory. And you know what? The whole experience taught me something important. Travel insurance isn't just for big emergencies like a flight cancellation or lost baggage. It's also about peace of mind. It's about knowing that no matter where you are, no matter what happens, there's someone who can help. It's something I never expected to need, but when I did, it was there, simple, quick, and honestly, life-changing. So, here's a tip I want to share with you. When you're planning your trips, whether it's hiking, backpacking, or even just taking a vacation, take a minute to look into travel insurance. You don't have to go all out with the coverage, but at least get a plan that has emergency medical support. You never know when you'll need it. I've used Oros to insure since that incident, and I genuinely trust them. It's not some fancy insurance pitch, it's just a service that came through for me when I needed it the most. It's my travel insurance hack, the one I've shared with friends ever since. And I'll never go on a trip without it again. It was a game changer, and I hope it can be for you too. So, check it out. I promise you won't regret it.